Hello everyone, welcome to Serendipity in Quarantine. Today we are going to study last chapter of 9th standard geography NCERT called population. So why we study population? So now as we are in this global pandemic because of the disease called COVID-19, we are seeing that importance of studying of population in terms of controlling this disease as well as in administration. For example, various features of population like migration, health, age group has played important role to control the spread of this virus. So I'll be explaining these features in basic terms so that you'll and will be giving reference to this pandemic so that you will understand this chapter more easily. So population is the resource, it is source of calamities and also is disaster, as it contains how human beings behave as per their distribution, growth and their various characteristics and the qualities which they have. So the primary concern with the major question about population is population size and its distribution, population's growth and process of population change, and characteristics or qualities of the population. So first we'll be saying what is the population size and its distribution. In 2011 census, India's population was 1210.6 million, which accounted for 17.5% of the world's population. So now we are in 2020, so the increase in population has been drastic, but we don't have the recent data of the census. So what is a census? It is an official enumeration of population and it is done periodically. In India, it is done after every 10 years. The first census was held in 1872, but it was taken in 1881. So the process goes from every 10th year after that. So last one was in 2011. So now it will be in 2021. But the process now has been delayed because of this pandemic. So in India, the distribution of population is different in different states. For example, Uttar Pradesh accounts for about 16% of the country's population. On the other hand, Himalayan state and Sikkim state has population of just about 0.6 million and Lakshadweep has only 64,000 people. So this is also data from 2011 census only. So here we can see in this pie chart that area of India is only 2.4% of the rest of the world, but its population is about 17.5%. This shows that we have very high density of population. So what is the density of population? It is a person per square kilometer of area. So here you can see various states and its distribution of population. Here in Uttar Pradesh we have highest population, while in states like Uttarakhand, Jammu Kashmir, Delhi, the population is only 1%, very low. In Maharashtra there is 9%, Bihar again 9%. As compared to Maharashtra, Bihar has very low area of the region, but its density is higher, hence it contains similar population to Maharashtra. Here you can see geographical map and it shows density of population. So the states in red show very high density of population like Bihar, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, then Kerala. And states like northeastern states, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, they have very less population, that is 250 and below. So why is it? If you'll see these states, they have very rugged terrain, then unfavorable climate like desert condition or very high snowfall condition. So hence they have very sparse population. Then considering states like Assam and other peninsular states, they have moderate population. It is because of low rainfall, then low fertility of the soil, etc. But if you'll see states like northern plains, states in northern plains like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, Kerala, so they have very too high population because of here we have flat plain region, very fertile soil, then abundant rainfall, so it can becomes favorable condition for living. So India is one of the most densely populated countries of the world. Only Bangladesh and Japan have higher average population densities than India. So this was population density. Now we'll be saying what is population growth. So growth of population refers to change in number of inhabitants of a country or territory during specific period of time. So it can be calculated in terms of absolute number increase or percentage change per year. So absolute number increase is very high considering we have very high population, but growth rate has been deferred. For example, this chart shows changes from year 1951 to 2011. So gradually population increased, but the growth rate decreased from 1981, which was 2.22%, then it became 2.16%, and so on. It decreased. So why did it increase? After 1981, measures to control population growth like contraceptives, sex education, then increasing literacy rate help controlling this population growth. This chart also shows that the rate of population growth decreasing in recent years. But though the rate has been decreased, we have very high population that it neutralizes the growth decreasing change in growth rate, because the overall absolute number is increasing. See, when more than billion people increase, even at lower rate, the total number being added becomes very large. So there is process of population change or population growth. So there are three main processes which affect change in population. First is birth rate, death rate, and migration. So what is birth rate? So birth rate is number of live birth per 1,000 person in a year. It is said that at every second one child is born in India. So this shows that how much high birth rate we have. And it is been said that considering this lockdown period in year of 2021, we'll be seeing baby boom. So then it is estimated that birth rate will again increase. Death rate is number of deaths per 1,000 person in a year. So with increasing technology and medicines, we were able to decrease this death rate. But now as we are in pandemic, so the cases of deaths are been increasing as compared to normal conditions. So death rate will also increase in minute level. Then third component is migration. So what is migration? It is a movement of people across region and territories. There are two types, internal migration and international migration. So now we saw highest internal migration within our country during this lockdown period. Migrant workers were moving back to their villages because there was question of livelihood, then danger to their life because of safety of their household, and this saw very large population moving from states like Maharashtra to other states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. So this internal migration does not change size of population overall, but it influences distribution of population within a nation. So for example, now the population will move from those states highly affected with coronavirus to those states very low affected with coronavirus, or the migrant worker from where they originally came. So there are some factors like push factors or pull factors. So what was push factor? When the population moves from rural to urban. So this is because of adverse conditions of poverty, unemployment. They were coming to cities to find jobs. But now we are saying that the effect of coronavirus is causing push factor, and it is pushing people away from urban cities. Then there is pull factor, in which cities term increase in employment opportunity, better living conditions. But considering migrant workers, now pull factor is done by villages which are providing secure home and the health and food security to them. So this was the case of migration. Then another factor is age composition. This shows that number of people in different age groups in a country. So as we know, there can be three distribution: child, adult, and then elderly. So according to census, children are generally below 15 years. So they are unproductive. They need health, food, clothing, education provided by adults to them. Then the second is working age population, which is from 15 years to 59 years. So they are mostly productive. They are also biologically reproductive, and they comprise working population. And then there is elderly, that is aged population, which is from 59 years and above. So though some of them can be economically productive, but most of them are retired, so they are dependent on working population. So in our country, maximum population is of adults, which is more than 50%, and then of children, and very small population is of elderly. So overall population is young as compared to other countries. So this age composition became important in this coronavirus pandemic. As we know, the elderly were most affected by the coronavirus. Hence countries like European countries got affected more because they had more elderly population as compared to Asian countries. The second factor is sex ratio. So it is defined as number of females per 1,000 males in a population. It is also a social indicator. It shows extent of equality between males and females. In our society, cases of female infanticide has been seen, which became unfavorable to females as it reduced the sex ratio, and it was never a condition in which our country the sex ratio was equal. But there are some exceptions, like states of Kerala, where the sex ratio is 1084 as compared to 1000 males. In our country, the sex ratio was never above 1000. So this shows that women were treated poorly. But now, with the help of schemes like Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, Selfie with Daughter, Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, there is incentive given to maintain a girl's health, improve her education, and provide equal opportunities to her as compared to boys. Another factor is literacy rate. So what is literacy? So according to census, if a person aged 7 years and above who can read and write and understand any language is treated as literate. So after independence, literacy rate in India was very less, but from 2011 census it is 73%, 80% for males and 64% of females. This again shows that there is increasing dropout ratio of female child, and very as compared to boys, low girls go to schools. Then there is occupational structure. It is, what is it? It is a distribution of population according to different types of occupation, referred as occupational structure. So generally they are classified as primary, secondary and tertiary occupations. So what are they? Primary occupation are activities like agriculture, animal husbandry, forestry, fishing, mining, quarrying, which does not require any type of processing. The secondary activities include manufacturing industries, building and construction work. And the tertiary activities are transport, communication, commerce, administration and services. So as we move from primary, secondary to tertiary, the sedentary lifestyle increases. So developed nations have high proportion of people in secondary and tertiary activities. while countries like India have higher population in primary activities. For example, we have 64% of the population engaged only in agriculture. But considering now with LPG reforms and increasing education, now there is a shift of secondary and tertiary sectors, also because of industrialization and urbanization. Yes, the most important factor which now we are seeing is health factor. So what is health factor? It is important component of population composition, and it affects the process of development. It includes birth rate, death rate, maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate. So it shows that what is the status of health of population in a country. For example, in our country now, with the help of increasing wellness centers, primary healthcare center, there is improvement in public health. There are prevention of infectious diseases through Indradhanush schemes and giving vaccines to children at very young age. Application of modern medical practices, improved uh, diseases and improved quality of health. For example, through processes like health transplant, kidney transplant, now the death because of organ failure has been reduced. But now, as we are facing this pandemic, the some important factors we are surfacing are like there are less number of health workers in the country, because of which the health benefits which needed to provide to population is not being met. Also, there is factor like malnutrition, undernutrition, overnutrition. So generally it is observed that per capita calorie consumption is much below the recommended levels, and malnutrition affects large percentage of the population. There is inavailability of safe drinking water, and we are now required to wash our hands repeatedly, so but there is no enough water to people, so that is one of the issue. Then there are sanitation amenities. People are not been accommodated with values of sanitation, and because of which controlling this virus requires various value changes. For example, spitting in public area has now become an offense, so these kind of changes now required to control our health. Now the factor like adolescent population. Students of 9th standard are considered in adolescent population, and they comes between age group of 10 to 19 years. It is it constitutes 1/5 of the total population of India. Nutrition requirements of adolescents are higher than the normal child or adult. If the proper nutrition is not given, then there can be seen deficiency or stunted growth. Mostly in adolescent girls, anemia is seen because they are not provided proper intake of iron. So in adolescent population should be focused and made healthy, so that the overall future of our country can be secured. There was national population policy in 2000 year, which was made to control the exponential growth of our population, and various programs were comprehensively made under this population policy. So it provides framework for imparting free and compulsory school education up to 14 years of age, reducing infant mortality rate below 30 per 1000 live births, achieving universal immunization of children against all vaccine preventable diseases, promoting delayed marriage for girls, making family welfare people-centered program. These all methods helped in controlling population growth. National Population Policy of 2000 also identified adolescent as one of the major section of population that needs greater attention. It includes protection from unwanted pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, delayed marriages, childbearing, education of adolescent, etc. So this was the end of last chapter of 9th standard geography NCERT. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Tune in for more important and interesting videos regarding NCERTs. Thank you.